Let me tell you what happens when you're on a different path than you were before and you're in the process of exercising your universal purpose and you're leveling up. The first thing you're going to notice is that your thought patterns and the way you perceive things is going to be totally different. I touched on this in previous audios. But I want to talk about now is your emotional intelligence is going to increase. And for those of you who are not very familiar with emotional intelligence, I actually talked about multiple intelligences in a previous audio. There are 8 of them. And the majority of us excel in either one or more of those intelligences, and that makes us who we are. That makes us unique from each other. But some of y'all are emotionally remedial, backwards as fuck when it comes to your emotions. You're below basic. You're just not there. First of all, you don't want to admit the emotions are part of who you are. You don't want to even acknowledge them. All you know is good and bad, happy, sad, angry, or satisfied. You don't know anything. And the thing about it is you don't use your emotional intelligence when dealing with people. You don't use your emotional intelligence to the point where you don't know how to compromise or negotiate, because in order to compromise and negotiate, you have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence. Your emotional intelligence is so low that you can't even trust your own instincts because you barely know what they are, let alone trust them. You haven't done any work on yourself. You haven't practiced any self-love. You're emotionally remedial. You are just below. And you can have everything in the world physically. But when people get with you, it's exhausting. It's a job. It's a workout. It's extreme. It's emotionally taxing having to deal with you. Because you just don't get it. And it doesn't matter what people show you or what they do. You might be smart enough to get on board for just a little while to get what you want, but for the most part, you just don't get it. I tell people all the time, there are some people in this world, no matter what you say or no matter what you do, they still not going to get where you're coming from. They're not going to get it. And I'm saying this because when you're in the process of leveling up, you're kind of like in a sifting point right now. You know, if you ever gone panhandling for gold, they give you the little sifting thing. You know, once you pull up the dirt out of the stream, you pour it into the little pan, and the pan has this little sieve, and they kind of have to shift and it goes through the little holes, and all the good stuff goes through the little holes, and all the residue is behind. You're in a sifting process right now in regards to your finances and who you're associated with, your living conditions and everything else. You're sifting through everything to find out what you're going to keep and take with you as you level up. That's what you're doing right now. And you're beginning to realize that a lot of people that you're associated with, they're emotionally remedial. They are down there. And they're not trying to be down there. They're not trying at all. And what you have to do is you have to decide in your mind, number one, do you want to even waste any more time with them, or do you just want to keep it moving? And some of them are aggressive with it. They realize that you're starting to pull back, and they are. Every time you turn around, they're trying to be irrelevant. They're trying to be relevant. Every time you turn around, they're trying to catch up with you, get caught up with you. Now, mind you, before you started making all these changes, because, see, people are starting to see you make moves. All of a sudden, now that you're starting to make moves, people that you wanted attention from before, all of a sudden they want your attention. And then you have this one that doesn't have a clue the crux of what you're doing. And because you're not easily accessible to them as you were before, they're feeling a certain type of way. So they're going to try to, I got to talk to you. I haven't heard from you in a while. Or, you say we're going to get together, but we don't get together. And there's something inside of you where you wanted to spend time with this person, but at the last minute, something tell you no. No, don't go to that lunch. Don't bother. Sometimes the universe will have you wait till the last minute before it tells you not to do something. They be like, I'm gonna wait and see how long they're gonna take to realize on their own they're not supposed to go. And sometimes that can save your life. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who's out in the streets all the time. You don't know what kind of runs they're doing or anything else. And you decide you just want to ride along to hang out with them, and one day you take a bullet. I'm just saying, it happens every single day. But see, you've got that emotional support system. You've done the work on your inner self, and these people haven't. So they're thinking in the mindset of, okay, well, what did I do? And blah, blah, blah. Why are they acting funny? Why are they switching up? You want to hear more about that? I did an audio about switching up, because it could have been something that they said or did, or something that they didn't do or didn't say. And you just got tired and said, you know what, I'm going to change my attitude towards this person, because I can't let them rent space in my head anymore. And that's just the way it is. But you got to be realistic. You got to be truthful to yourself. Just saying.